This next one is really the kind of story that sends chills down your spine. Conjuring our worst fears, swimming in the ocean. The thought of then swimming in the ocean with sharks, let alone, some sort of great white shark. Let me tell you this story. Scuba diver George Thomas Wainwright of Houston was attacked and killed over the weekend by this 10-foot great white shark just off of Western Australia. And keep in mind, this was the third fatal shark attack in the area in less than 2 months. Now, local fisheries experts, they're launching what certain people are deeming a questionable effort here to hunt down and kill this particular shark that killed Wainwright. I want to bring in Andy Dehart. He is with National Aquarium Institute, also been an advisor for Discovery Channel's Shark Week special. So, Andy, I know after, I guess, working 20 years with him, you know a thing or two about sharks. Let me just begin with this. I mean, how do you even begin to hunt for a specific shark in the middle of the ocean? How does that work?
Well, certainly these are tragic cases, and the families do kind of want closure on this, but that is the hard part, is looking for one shark in a very big ocean. And the ability to do that quickly in a way before the shark is able to digest any possible evidence kind of makes it a very hard task to achieve.
How do you literally find this shark? Is this shark dead or alive, first of all?
Well, the shark's probably very much alive, and unfortunately the way to catch the shark is to set out a lot of baited hooks. Most of these areas use a long line, which could be a quarter mile, it could be a half-mile long line with hooks every 40 feet. And unfortunately, the process by figuring out whether this was the right shark or not is to kill that shark and then cut it open in a necropsy.
Is there such a thing as a rogue shark? Do they really go after people, or do they just see a person, mistake it for something, food, something they would eat?
Certainly the rogue shark theory is something that has been around long before the movie Jaws, but kind of inspired the movie Jaws. But it's kind of widely dismissed by science that there is not a shark out there that kind of figures out that humans are easy prey. What we do know is that there's over 500 species of sharks. Not a single one of those species has human beings on part of their regular diet. Usually when attacks like this do happen, it's a case of mistaken identity. There might have been the wrong signals, it might have been a murky day in the water, and the shark is just going after its normal diet. In this case, the great white typically feeds on seals and sea lions.
Like you said, perhaps in some cases families want closure. Perhaps Australia, wants to find this particular shark. But do you think the idea of searching for this shark, is it legitimate?
It's really not. I mean, the options of trying to find this one shark are very minimal. The other thing that leads to is a lot of bycatch. They're going to be killing a lot of great whites and other sharks in this area. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot to fear from sharks, but sharks do have a lot to fear from us. We kill sharks at a rate of about 73 million per year around the globe, and they can't stand that fishing pressure. So just kind of to get some closure, we need to look at other alternatives and look at ways that we might better utilize beach safety. I know this area of Australia does a lot of aerial patrols, and that's kind of my recommendation, is to get back to the aerial patrols, close beaches from time to time, but don't go after killing the sharks.
But from the other perspective, Andy, if you're Australia and you want to continue having scuba divers or tourists to this, to this part of Australia, and you're thinking, oh, there's a great white out there, there have been these 3 attacks in 7 weeks, we need to find this shark. I mean, can you just address that concern? It's viable.
Certainly. Yep, certainly. First and foremost, it's probably not the same shark. There's probably multiple sharks. All the folks that live in Western Australia are very comfortable knowing that this is an area that great whites live in. We know that great white numbers have dropped over time, but this is a large coastal area, and since 2000 there's only been 7 fatalities. This is the 7th fatality in the whole entire Western Australia in those 11 years. So you really need to look at risk. It's far more dangerous to drive to the beach, risk of fatality and car attack and then car accident than it is to be involved in a shark bite incident at a beach.
Wow. I guess final question, is there really any way to prevent shark attacks?
Well, there's certainly some things we do recommend. We recommend that people don't swim at dusk and dawn. These are the peak shark feeding times. Also be aware of your surroundings. If there's a lot of bait fish in the area or there's a lot of marine mammals in the area, beware and get out of the water. Discretion is a better part of valor. We do know that the first attack that happened in Western Australia in September, it's right around the corner from a very large seal rookery. And kind of be wise with what beaches you're going to.
Okay, Andy Dehart, thank you so much for talking Sharks with me. It's a tragic story nonetheless for these folks who lost their son. Thank you, though.